Thanks for coming to the practice game. Ruby's the veteran, and we're going to train some new players. Layla, meet Kelly.
That's Kelly?
Yes.
Hi, Layla. Bill talks about you all the time.
Your best friend's a girl?
Duh, her name is Kelly. It's not Peter or Franklin.
Don't take that fucking tone with me. Kelly can be the name of a boy, too.
Yeah, if his parents were gay.
What, are you a racist?
What?
Layla, you don't have anything to worry about. If anything would have happened between Bill and I, it would have happened by now.
I just think it's strange that a guy has a girl for a best friend.
Oh, listen, can we just get on with the game, please?
Just so everybody knows, these chips are just for me. Don't ask for one. It's just one serving size.
It's not one serving size, you idiot.
Would anyone like one?
Yeah. Nice, Bill. I see you wear the pantyhose in the family.
I'm the dominant one in the relationship. We're girlfriends of the past. Such a refreshing change to go out with somebody smart, nice.
You've only had one girlfriend in the past, Bill. Just a word of advice, Bill. When we inevitably break up, you might want to consider not telling these stories to whoever you date next. Because you'll get sympathy for having a small pecker, but you won't get laid. Small, really? That's generous.
You can make fun of my pee-pee all you want, but you're the one who's using it all the time.
Except I'm not.
Your character is going to be represented by a lead miniature. Your character doesn't look like this miniature. I am just going to use it for a reference. So, when you get into a battle, I can chart the position of every combatant.
You're incompetent.
I said combatant.
Impotent.
Well, Bill, you seem to be in a room full of women that just think you're impotent. How does that make you feel?
I don't know. Why don't you look at your character sheet and tell me how that feels to you?
I'm a lizard man, Bill, no! Oh, yeah, and I'm male. Thanks, Bill.
So wait, she's playing a guy?
Yes, this is a role-playing game, so you can play a person other than yourself.
So a guy can play a girl?
No, that's gay.
You're gay.
Are you a racist?
So I could play another race too?
Yeah, you just can't play a nigger, a spick, or a gook. What? This is medieval fantasy. The only races there were humans, elves, and you know, things like that.
Well, for your information, niggers are humans, too.
Yeah, but in medieval times, niggers and spicks were just running around the jungle. And you know what, Lila? Some of them still actually are.
What if my character was a barbarian from the jungle? Could I be black then?
Barbarians didn't live in the jungle, numbnuts.
I don't know if I want to play a game that's so racist.
Oh my god. You really are so brainwashed, aren't you?
I thought this game was supposed to be fun. Why are we arguing?
This game is fun. Lila, you just need to leave your politics out of it and we'll have a really, really good time.
I'm not the one who brought politics into it.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, because you're trying to bring the multicultural agenda into fantasy role-playing.
Okay, if you could just use your brains for a second. You're the one who said that one of the races was the human race, so Kelly could be black if she wanted to.
All right, Lila, I'm going to take this slow for you because there is no such thing as the human race. That's just a hippie term. The actual scientific term, Lila, is the human species. And then within those species, there are Negroid, Mongoloid, and Caucasian.
But you just said a minute ago that the races in the game are human, elf, and something else. So human is a race.
And for your information, science proved that there isn't actually race.
Bollocks. Because no, it didn't. No, it didn't prove that. That's just polite fiction.
Science isn't fiction.
Oh, and neither is race. Neither is race. Oh my God. All right, there was a group of scientists who are race deniers, and they work with blood. And you know what they discovered? They discovered that there is actually no discernible difference between the blood of minorities and the blood of whites. So do you know what that means?
Well, yeah, it means that there is no race.
Wrong, wrong, wrong. You couldn't be more wrong. What it means is the government can't produce a poison merely to kill niggers or spics.
Are you going to defend your girlfriend? Can you just act like a fucking man already?
A man should never get involved when two girls are going at it.
That's right.
Okay, be a pussy, but when she says something stupid, I'm gonna hit you and not her.
Ruby, can we please get back in the game? Or if you don't, I'm gonna hit her instead of you.
Yeah, in a minute. Let me just wrap up this race thing, shall I, Lila? Because this group of scientists, these blood scientists that deny race, you know what they're doing? They're promoting their own social agenda. And all the other scientists that don't go along with the lie, well, they're denied funding. And the real scientists who work with bones can pinpoint with such accuracy whether you're a Hungarian or a nigger. Now, you can't just deny the facts, Lila, even if they do sound brutal. Now, and you know what, Lila? Another thing, if race doesn't exist, then how come when the victims of serial killers are found that they can tell whether they're black or white through their bones, eh? Eh? Egalitarians just don't like scientists because they're scared of what scientists can do. Egalitarians just don't like science because they're scared of what scientists can find out about different races being stupid.
Okay, so if race is real, I like to be black.
Oh, fine, you're black. You live in a jungle, you see a bolt of lightning, you go and worship it, and when you're paralyzed in its adoration, a snake comes up and bites you and you die.
I'm the Dungeon Master, I make it up!
Well then, for the love of God, Bill, will you just tell her that there are no niggers in the game? Please? Okay, maybe you could be a goblin, because they look like niggers anyway, so that would fit.
I don't want to play a goblin.
Even if you do play a nigger, you can't talk like one anyway, so...
What's the difference?
There's no slang in the game. And seriously, why would you want to talk like a nigger anyway?
What do you mean there's no slang?
Oh, God. All right, can we just let it rest? Can we just let it rest? Because Bill actually went to a lot of time and trouble to try and make this game fun for you and I.
You and me.
That's what I said.
No, you said you and I, and... Well, that's just stupid, because you wouldn't say something like Bill wanted the game to be fun for I.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. I get what you're saying.
Which is it?
Which is what?
Well, you said yes and no, which are contradictions of itself, so what did you mean, yes or no?
Sweetie, you really need to get some help, because all of this nitpicking is just a sign of something wrong.
Well, you're the one who's turning every little thing into a fight.
Wow, you give my ass a headache, seriously, like you really do. And Bill, I'm not gonna let a brainwashed person ruin a perfectly good game. I mean, it's bad enough that niggers and spics are playing elves and vampires in all the Hollywood movies. I mean, if you ask me, that's racist, because Hollywood is completely destroying European folklore, and that's all right. That's okay. And I bet you any money in 10 years' time, everyone's going to think that niggers and spics were in all the major stories. Look, I'm sorry that these primitive cultures were stuck eating ants and being chased away by elephants. I really am, while white cultures developed rich cultures full with art and everything. But the fact is, there has never been a nigger elf, and there never will be.
But there never was an elf or a vampire in real life anyways, so what the fuck is the difference?
My beautiful and extremely intelligent girlfriend made a good point. Let's get back to the game.
Bill, doesn't it bother you that you're dating such a conformist? I mean, seriously? You two get married? Dumbest kids ever.
Ooh. Let me stop you right there, because you've got to be kidding me. I would never have a baby by that thing. Have you seen his forehead? I would never pass anything that size through my vagina.
Yeah, no, you should probably forget about the cesarean and just get a heart surgeon to rip your ribs apart and pull that baby out.
Well, I'm glad that we can relieve all this tension by using me as a target.
Well, you know I'm a lover, not a fighter.
No, you're a nigger lover, not a fighter. All right. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Can we just stop talking about race now, please?
Yes. Kelly, you're going to play a human, and as you can see, she's human.
She's really not that pretty.
Well, look in your character sheet. Under charisma, you'll see you have a very high score.
But I want to be pretty.
Well, that's what charisma is.
No, it's not. Charisma is personality. A fat girl could have charisma, but doesn't make her pretty.
I don't think that even a high charisma can make me overlook a fat girl.
Shut up.
Because I'm in love with Layla, and I would never ever cheat on her.
When you fart, you're supposed to leave the room.
Why did you say that to me? I did not fart.
Yes, you did.
I believe him.
So you think he farted.
No, I believe he didn't fart. Are you deaf?
So you disbelieve him.
Are you retarded?
He used a double negative.
I didn't not.
Come on, you're the language purist. I thought you'd understand something as simple as that.
You know what, Lila? I won't be so smug because you're the one who deals with them 24/7.
Touche.
Ooh, Morticia, that's French.
Ugh, get off of me.
But you make me feel touche feeling.
Ugh, sit down, you asshole.
That wasn't not me.
What did you eat?
Ugh, probably some kind of junk food.
You don't get a body like this eating vegetables.
Ugh, you are the worst diabetic I've ever met.
All right, let's just get back into the game, shall we? Kalinka, your character's companion of Venosia, and the two of you have been walking through a forest, and you hear some sort of lewd moaning.
Okay, I picked Venosia's pocket.
Oh, well, you can't say something like that out loud. You need to write Bill a note.
Why?
Well, Bill's an idiot, but he really likes this game and he likes to make it seem real.
But how am I supposed to feel like I picked your pocket by writing him a note?
You know, like some things are better left to be a surprise. So if you don't tell me that you're picking my pocket and you write him a note, then he'll roll the dice and decide whether or not you succeeded, and then I won't need to know that you picked my pocket.
Yeah, no, because later on, when she goes to buy an ale and she finds that her coin purse is missing, then she'll either blame another character in the inn or she'll blame me.
Fine. I'm just kidding. I already knew I blew my cover.
And no, because you shouldn't be doing that anyway. You should be really going to investigate that noise, that lewd moaning.
Or not, because maybe it's a trap.
Okay, Venosia, let's go investigate that noise.
All right, I'm making the assumption that you're trying to go to that noise quietly. All right, I rolled the dice to determine that you made no noise. It's a probability. You are in the realm of the probable. You made no noise.
What's making that noise?
Oh, you didn't make noise, but something else did, and guess what it is? Atop a hill, you see a terrifying creature. It's got the body of a man, with the head of a goat.
Oh no, it's a brew.
What's a brew?
They're like these little things that were made with perverted magic, and they just go around raping everything possible.
Yeah, and oh no, let me just guess what's going to happen.
The brew, as Layla identified, is having sex with the lizard man who's bound and gagged.
Bill, why'd you have to be so gay?
I'm not gay.
Yeah, you kind of are, because who else would have a fancy about gay rape?
Oh yeah, you're playing a guy, aren't you?
It's not my fantasy, and I'm not the fag who's getting raped.
You know, why does gay have to be an insult?
Because it is.
Excuse me?
Seriously, do you really think it's a compliment? Yo, son, you is gay, son. Oh, thanks, dude, you is gay too, man. I mean, no, it is an insult.
Well, but I think that it just makes you sound stupid when you say it. It's just not nice.
Yeah.
You could offend somebody.
Who the fuck is gay in this room other than Bill?
Hey!
I just think that you should remove it from your vocabulary.
You know what? I think you sound stupid because all you're doing is reciting the propaganda that's brainwashed you. Now, hands up, I know that television has glamorized being a fag, but the fact is, homosexuality is a mental illness.
Holy shit. You're a fucking redneck.
And that's just like calling someone a nigger.
What? It totally is not.
Of course it is. When you call someone a redneck or a racist, then you dehumanize them.
Oh, and what you're saying about homosexuals isn't dehumanizing?
Yeah, stop being gay.
Shut the fuck up, Bill.
You haters are all the same. You actually feel morally superior because you hate rednecks. Well, hate is hate, Mrs. Hitler. You know, and actually hating rednecks is worse than hating niggers.
So what's morally superior about hating homosexuals?
I don't hate fags. I just don't see why they're respected, that's all. Look, I'm not ignorant. I know that being a homosexual is a biological fact, but, you know, people are meant to procreate, males with females and females with males.
Yes, that's exactly why I don't understand why we call our peepees private parts. They're the only parts of our bodies that are meant to be used by another person. Should be called public parts.
Bill, don't tell a homophobe that she's playing a gay character.
I'm not a homophobe. I'm an anti-homo.
Homophobe.
No, because that's just a gay way of making fags feel superior. You know what it's like? It's like when the wimp gets beaten up at school but secretly thinks the bully's a coward. Well, you can think all you want, darling, because you're still the one who got 7 shades of shit kicked out of them.
Actually, I learned that bullies aren't cowards and they are actually full of confidence and they're just plain mean.
Okay, all right. Can we just start the game, please? Because it's been like 5 hours and we've actually done nothing. Bill, you're meant to be the dungeon master. Can you not control us?
Okay, homophobe.
Don't call me that. I'm not afraid of fags. I just don't like them.
Okay, I'm gonna do something in the game now because I am so...
Hold everything.
Let me just explain. Being a fag is like being being like an albino, all right? It's a mistake in nature. But with a fag, the mistake is in the brain, and I just think that if you've got one mistake in the brain, then how many more mistakes are there gonna be? And the brain is not a very good place to have mistakes.
You're a good example of that.
Yeah, but I'm not gay.
What you really mean to say is that you're not lesbian, because girls can't be gay, only guys can be gay. Or were you talking about your character, because your character is a man, a lizard man?
Well, you should meet some, because I know a lot of them and I like them.
Then you're a homophiliac.
Ugh.
Okay, this is no joke. Everybody close your eyes and rest your head on the table. Do not open your eyes, no matter what you hear. Just keep your eyes closed. Pay attention to my voice. It's only me walking behind you. All right, everyone, open your eyes and sit up. Venozia has uncorked the flask, drank it, and disappeared.
Is she dead?
No, it's just an invisibility potion.
Don't tell her that. Your character's gagged and being raped.
Oh, well, at least I can't get pregnant, right? Could you imagine giving birth to something with horns? Oh, God. You know what, though? At least I'd rather be raped by a brood than a nigger or a spick.
What? Why?
Well, have you seen how mutated the half-breeds look? Oh my God, they look like half human, half ape. I tell ya, in 10 years' time, America is going to look like the planet of the apes. No, scrap that. It's going to look like the planet of the albino apes.
Or planet of the gay albino apes.
Okay, I get the picture. I'm not gonna argue. So what's Layla doing?
You don't know, you don't see her.
No, I mean in real life.
You don't know.
Okay, now I know what you mean about being jealous.
I never used words like that to describe her. Shh. Yeah. So what's your character doing? Let's talk about the game.
Stop being stupid.
Do you have something you want to share?
You mean you don't know?
I'm the Dungeon Master and I control the game. Please refrain from all personal discussion at this time.
I don't know if I should say.
Oh, what, the Bill's cheating on Lila?
Bill who? Ow!
Are you that stupid? Bill who? What other Bill would be dating a Layla?
Those are the most common names in the English alphabet.
Did Bill fuck another girl?
You're gonna have to ask Bill that one.
I did not cheat on you.
Oh, where the fuck you going with that?
I want to eat while I watch TV.
No fucking way. You're gonna get crumbs all over the place and we're gonna have a friggin' cockroach problem.
Well, how about if I bring the plate under my jaw and eat like this?
No. You're gonna do what I say and say what I do.
That doesn't make sense, Dad.
How about this? It's my way or the highway.
Well, if you really understood what that expression meant, you wouldn't say it anymore, because as far as I know, a highway is the most efficient road system there is. So your way is worse than the highway.
What the fuck does that mean?
Well, I would choose the better, and the highway is better than your way.
How about this? How about you just move out and go live on a goddamn highway, get hit by a fucking truck for all I care? What? Hello, stupid, I'm talking to you.
Hey, did you make me a copy of the bootleg?
No way. If you were too gay to see Trouble for their last concert with Eric Wagner singing, then don't ask me for a favor like that. And it's not a bootleg.
It's not? Then how come you can't buy it at the store?
Didn't I fucking tell you not to bring the donuts down here?
I did not bring the donuts down here.
Endast Sverige, svenska älgar hava.
Hello?
What?
You're still on the phone? How long was I out?
I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. Why were you crying?
Excuse me. Do you have an extra cigarette?
Sure.
Thank you. Very polite, thank you.
No problem.
Doesn't light itself.
I don't have a light, I'm sorry.
Oh, all right. I do in case girls ask me for them. Do you need a light?
No, thank you.
No? Because I have them.
You said that.
Oh, my zipper's open! Did you see that? How embarrassing! Where are matches? I had matches somewhere. So what do you do for a living? Money, see, I don't need to tell you. Alright. I had matches somewhere. What do you think is a good match? Like two things that are similar.
Not me and you.
Well, of course, because, you know, genders are different, male and female. If we were identical, we'd have the same medicines. No tampons in Bill's house, yes. No well, my mother, I don't live with my mother. She doesn't, she's old, she doesn't need them anyway. And let's see what I have here. I wish I had M&Ms because they make friends. Ah! In an unlikely spot. You mind if I smoke?
No, not at all.
Alright, I'll sit down. Style. A lot of weather we're having.
You serious?
Yeah, the global warming and stuff. Did you ever smoke elephant style?
Excuse me?
Elephant style. Oh, well, not that you're fat. I mean, were you ever? Like maybe you lost 100-something pounds.
What's wrong with you?
You know, it's just, you know, when people meet at a bar, they don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything, just be yourself. That's what I say. Even though I wouldn't say to another person, I'm just being myself. You could tell that I'm myself, right?
This is yourself. This is what you would actually say to pick up a girl.
We're just friends.
You're smoking elephant style.
See, when people meet at a bar to pick up things out of their league, no offense, but they're meeting the wrong way. You have to meet as friends first, and then if something happens, you know, the chemistry. You can tell by your body language it's happening.
Do you know you have stuff all over your face?
Yeah, it's called charisma. But anyway,
Okay.
did you know it affects you? So I know about topics that they're going to ban smoking in some states.
Oh, really?
In bars.
Is that so?
See, some laws are stupid, like birth control, and this is not was the word counterbalancing? Countering. It's not countering the effects of this nutritional beverage.
Okay.
You know, if I were in a health club, maybe I wouldn't smoke.
True.
Ever.
That's true.
Because, you know, why take 2 steps back to go 1 step forward?
Exactly. Looks like you don't really need a cigarette.
That's because I smoke for pleasure. Okay. I'm not addicted. I don't need this. I could say no. So what are some things you say no to?
You?
I don't like the alphabet either. The letter S is the one I hate.
Why do you hate the letter S?
Because they had this one phone number. It's like something mattress and leave out the last S for savings. I don't want to leave that list. I don't want to leave it out. Keep it in there.
Why?
I'll dial an extra digit. I don't care. I do it on purpose, even though I don't need a bit.
You'll still get the same phone number. Because it's an extra S.
That's because I always go the extra step.
Good morning.
I know you are, but what am I?
After that girl knocked you out, the bouncer wanted to call the police. So I pretended I was your friend and they let me take you.
How did you know this was my car?
Your registration was in your wallet. You were doing some funny things last night.
We had sex?
No. I was watching you strike out with all those girls on purpose. It showed your contempt for the mainstream.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. Those girls probably like rap anyway. I could have never imagined that one day such a blight would destroy society.
Whoa! You think rap is destroying society?
Yes, I almost feel like this existence isn't real. Years ago, rap was dismissed as utter nonsense. They just steal music and repeat it over and over and over again while some idiot rambles incessantly, making it even more irritating.
That's something that once baffled me, when they stole a segment of someone else's music and just repeated it like it was a broken record. They didn't seem to understand that music has to resolve.
My friend Ruby has been opening my eyeballs to a lot of things. For instance, she said that primitive humans don't understand music, they only understand percussion, whereas advanced humans understand expression. They understand the rules of music. Western music has rules, and we obey them or we break them, but we know them. They don't know them. So when they steal a clip that has violin, guitar, piano, things like that, they just hear it as a beat. That's why they do it over and over again.
Have you ever heard of Karl Marx?
Karl Marx said, he was Groucho Marx's cousin. He said, who controls the media controls the masses. But I like to say who controls the media controls the asses.
Can we just start the game already? I want to compare this game with other systems I've played.
Look, you're new. That means you're on probation. Bill is the best dungeon master ever. You have to prove yourself in a trial game before he'll let you play in the campaign.
Oh. I didn't know that. So, there's more players in the campaign game?
Of course. Prove yourself and then you can play with the pros.
I hurt you too.
Oh my god. Did you just say I heart you?
Yeah, it was sarcastic. Tit for tat.
But you do know when you see a bumper sticker and it says I with the symbol of a heart and then a U, it's I love you and not I heart you.
You think so?
I know so. Don't you feel stupid when you say something like that? Heart is not a verb. You sound just as stupid as a nigger.
Oh god. You said the N-word within the first 5 minutes of meeting you.
Don't tell me you're one of those politically correct morons.
I just don't think you should use such an outdated word. It makes you sound ignorant. Hate talk is not smart.
It's the listener who puts the hate in the word, not the person who says it.
Oh, great. So you say the N-word and now I'm a racist?
If you had nothing to hide, then you would just say the word. You can't say it because you have racist feelings. You're only pretending that you don't. When you pretend that something's not there, it doesn't disappear.
That's unsound logic. I mean, you can't just say that something doesn't exist because a person's afraid to say it. I really hope you don't play your character like a redneck.
How can you be so judgmental, yet still say you harbor no racist thoughts?
Are you seriously saying that I'm a racist because I hate uneducated rednecks?
Oh, so uneducated whites don't deserve any compassion? If you don't like uneducated whites, then you should also hate niggers. They're way more uneducated.
It's not their fault they're uneducated.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right. It's their genetics.
Yeah, sure. It's in their genes for white people to deny them opportunities.
No, it's in their genes that make them incapable of any intellectual pursuits. There are no white people living in tribes like savages did 10,000 years ago. I can't say the same for niggers or spics or other darker-skinned humanoids who are living as whites did thousands of years ago. The chain is only as strong as its weakest link.
That expression doesn't apply to race.
You might be right about that. A chain is as strong as its weakest link. A chain is made of metal. And niggers and spics never even developed metalworking. Whites had to show them! Even you have to admit that there are primitive examples of those races.
Come on, guys, we can't waste the whole day on stuff like this, okay? Come on.
We're not guys. We're women. You should never tolerate someone calling you dude or referring to you as a guy. We have to take a stand against the bastardization of language.
I'm not an English teacher, you know, so as long as I understand what the person means, I don't care how they speak.
Order in the court! Let me make introductions. Lucy and Ruby, you have never met in real life, but you're expert gamers. And you get to play together for the first time today. Jen has never played a role-playing game before, but she has potential. I was going to invite my other friend Ruby today, but she likes to start arguments. Wanted to play a peaceful game. So why don't you all get acquainted while I use the self-urination chamber.
Look, I use this game to escape the multicultural agenda. It bothers me when people bring it into the game.
Oh yeah? And what's wrong with the multicultural agenda,
Because it's unnatural. We're meant to live in clans. We aren't meant to live in this artificial mixture.
Wait. So you don't think it's healthy for offspring to benefit from a diversity of genes?
Fuck no. Minorities have many more defects than they do benefits. They're weakening the whites when they mix with us. They're uglifying our race. We're becoming more animal-like with each passing decade.
Great. Now, you're referring to minorities as animals?
Well, they are. Think about it. Gorillas live in a jungle. If you burn down the jungle, the gorillas will die off because they are not capable of adapting to any other habitat. Gorillas aren't explorers. They're not going to cross oceans looking for new places to live. It's the same with niggers or spics. The only reason why they're out of the jungle is because white people took them out.
So, animals don't leave their environments to adapt to a different habitat?
Fuck no.
Okay. So, a polar bear and a black bear living in completely separate parts of the world would never leave? Right. Don't you see how illogical you are? They're both bears.
I could care less.
You mean you couldn't care less?
If you want to use the archaic form of that expression.
You're not being contemporary when you say that you could care less, because that means that whatever you're scoffing isn't at the bottom of the list, because it means that you could care less about something. You see?
Well, if you said that there were Africans starving, then yeah, I would care less than if whatever you said about bears.
You don't care about starving people?
I said starving Africans, not starving people. They were meant to die off in large numbers. That's why they have the reproductive strategies that they do. They breed constantly because they know only a few will survive. When whites took them out of the jungle, they still kept breeding like crazy. And you can't stop them, much less make a cat stop from chasing mice.
You know, there was a charlatan named Margaret Mead who ran a study to show how different a small population was from the rest of the world. When it was debunked, it showed that humans are basically the same. You're just focusing on the small picture. Essentially, humans are all the same.
Irregardless.
That's not a word.
Maybe you should go to summer school.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, tell me then, what's the difference between regardless and irregardless?
Who's the comedian who left this on the toilet seat?
What does it say? You're gonna have a problem with this.
Your dick must be this big in order to use the toilet.
Oh, Laurel and Hardy, har har.
You're gonna let her get away with busting on your junk like that?
Don't use nigger slang here.
Hey, that is not black slang.
Yes, it is, brainwashed idiot. Niggers call their dicks junk because that's what comes out of it. They use it to spread their junk genes.
Do you even know what a junk gene is?
Jen and Lucy, your characters met at an inn and you were approached by someone who looks like a beggar. And he gave you a tip about a cave that might have some treasure. He warned you about some of the dangers, but you decided to go anyway.
Don't you think it would be better to let us roleplay the situation? I mean, we could have refused. I, for one, would have asked a ton of questions.
We'd go through all that in a campaign game, but this is a basic training game. We're going right to the adventure. Right in there! Inside it!
Well, where's Ruby's character?
I'll get to that.
Oh no.
So, you're paddling in a canoe on a river, and it leads to a cave entrance. And so you get to the dungeon that way.
Are you sure it would be that easy to just get to the dungeon? I hope your campaign games are a lot more realistic than this one. Huh.
Well, I just want to start immediately in the dungeon. But, another thing is, last week I've made all these preparations for an adventure, and nobody went on it.
Well, why didn't we just use that same game today?
Well, what's done is done.
Don't say what's done is done if you didn't actually do anything.
As I was saying, you two are paddling in the canoe in the river, and you go through the cave mouth and you're inside the cave in the river paddling. And you start to hear lewd moaning. As you go deeper, you see a lizard man gagged and tied up and being porked up the pooper by a troll.
Oh, fuck you!
So that's your character, I take it.
You're just getting back at me for the dick jokes.
Well, it looks like my character is more of a warrior. What does your character do?
Well, I'm more of a spellcaster.
But you have armor, right?
This game system goes by completely different rules than what you are used to. spellcasters can wear armor.
Well, do you have any spells that we can knock the troll out with?
You're not gonna ask a question like that. You know that she casts spells because she, as a person, told you. But your character doesn't know.
Okay, what's the difference?
In a campaign game, we play as intensely as possible. Bill doesn't let our characters act on information that we have in real life.
Oh, so the characters die a lot.
Yeah, that's what makes it exciting.
That is not what makes a game exciting, okay? If you ask me, that's what makes the players feel frustrated.
Maybe you aren't cut out to be on our level of intensity.
You're right. So, do we rescue the lizard man or not? Wait, why is she playing a lizard man? Don't lizard men hate humans?
You shouldn't judge by appearances. I am an exception. I've renounced allegiance to my species, and now I wear human clothing to show what my new attitude is. But I do expect some prejudice when we enter a city.
And don't you see the irony in that?
The troll dismounts the lizard man. You can't tell, but I think it's smiling. It then goes through a chest. Rummaging through, it pulls out 3 vials of fluid. Each vial has a different colored fluid. It chooses one, uncorks the vial, and takes a sniff.
Wait a minute. I mean, does the troll see us? If we're in a cave, then we're definitely going to need light. Trolls can see in the dark, and they would definitely see our torches.
I forgot to tell you that the cave walls have a luminous mold, so you don't need a torch.
Yeah, best dungeon master my ass.
Alright, so this troll decides to drink the fluid, and a little bit after it does, it starts choking, convulsing, then it bursts into flames, and all that's left is ash.
Great, let's save the lizard man.
Thanks.
You can't talk because you're gagged.
Okay, so let's not rescue this lizard man yet. If we're going to roleplay, we have to assume that the lizard man hates humans.
Alright, when you walk onto the sandy shore, you notice there's something shiny in the ashes that were the troll, probably in his ash hole.
Oh, what was it?
On closer inspection, it's a ring.
I put it on.
Oh, I saw it first.
It's just to test it. If you let me put it on and something bad happens, you have spells that can save me. If something bad happens to you, I don't have any spells. So just let me be the guinea pig.
You don't know if she has spells. And if you did, you wouldn't know how magic works because you're a warrior.
It's okay. I want to start out friendly. She can have the ring.
Alright, your character puts the ring on and is immediately filled with knowledge of what it does. It's extremely powerful magic. It allows you to totally control lizard men.
Fuck yeah!
That's stupid!
Shut up, your character's gagged.
I was talking out of character.
And out of turn. My character tells the lizard man to get on the ground and bob his head up and down.
Ruby, your character does not resist the magic, and your head bobs up and down on the ground. Up and down on the ground.
Like a good blowjob. So, how does it feel to be a victim of prejudice? My character hates lizard men!
See? I told you that deep down inside you're a racist!
I'm not a racist, I'm just teaching you a lesson.
If you really were morally superior, then you would teach me in a gentle and intellectual way. But instead, you're humiliating my character. How is that supposed to be better than me?
Better than I.
No, you don't just say I because it sounds smart.
Yeah, you do. When you're saying that, you're shortening the statement, better than I am. Think about it. You wouldn't say, how is that supposed to be better than me am?
Yeah. Stop talking like a nigger.
Haha. Okay, so getting back to the game. Did you say that all the vials have the same color liquid?
No, they're all different, and before you ask the next question, predict, the remaining potions are not the same color as the one that the troll drank. The leftover colors are purple and pink.
Oh.
Start with the letter P and they make you pee. Two of them make pee-pee.
Pink, pink. I drink the pink one.
Hey, I want the pink one.
Listen, I'm only gonna have a tiny sip. That's the correct way to test out a potion. This way, if it's got bad magic, it shouldn't harm me too much. And then after I try it, you can have the rest.
That's fair.
Your character looks at Jen's character and finds her to be the most beautiful woman ever Scene.
Ooh, she can keep that potion.
Suit yourself. This is probably a potion of human control. I hit the jackpot. Now I control both of you. I drink the whole bottle. What are you doing that for?
I'm trying to get your attention. Tell my character to stop bobbing his head up and down.
I'm not done with you yet.
Your character drinks whatever is in that flask and looks lovingly at the lizard man. You've never seen a more handsome man in your whole life. You never thought that love like this was possible.
Wait. No. No! I drank a love potion? Well, how do you know I was looking at the lizard man?
You were interacting with the lizard man as you drank.
My character looks lovingly at her, hoping she will give the command to stop my head bobbing.
Your character doesn't know that I drank a love potion.
Well, her character was looking at you. You drank some sort of fluid in your mouth, and then all of a sudden your whole expression changed. What's your character's intelligence?
18.
Alright. This'll prove it. Yes.
Yes.
Your character is so smart, you could equate the reaction with the drinking, and you know that although you obey this character, you know that this character is in love with you, and you try to manipulate her with your eyeballs. Make puppy eyes, or lizard eyes. Yes, and your character being in love with puppy eyes doesn't want to hurt the object of your affection, and you rescind the order to head bob.
I go untie her. I mean, him.
No! I still have my prejudice against Lizardman. My character considers Lizardmen to be very dangerous.
What's your character's intelligence?
9.
Half of yours. Sorry, but your character's a bit on the stupid side, and your extreme love of the lizard man overrides your prejudice.
Oh, just like in real life. Stupid white people date niggers because Hollywood makes them look good in movies.
You just called yourself the N-word! Shows how smart you are. Not!
Well, I may be a nigger in the game, but my soul is white. That means that, as hard as it may be for my character to be accepted in cities, I will use my personality and intelligence to succeed. I may be the proverbial nigger, but inside I'm white. That means that I'm not going to cry about being a nigger, or beg for things like affirmative inaction.
It's called affirmative action, not inaction.
Really? Have you ever seen a nigger be active in the workplace? If Hollywood wanted to make a movie with alpha male nigger characters, they should make a movie about Nigger Man, able to destroy huge corporations just by being employed. Bill. Are you really gonna let that happen?
I don't own a corporation.
Bill hasn't had a job in years. He spent all that money for school, and now it just is more debt.
He didn't pay any money, his dad did.
Look, in the IT world, I interview one day, and then 5 months later, I get a job. The wheels in a corporate environment.
Whatever.
Slow. Not fast. Slow.
Just settle the situation in the game.
Alright, ask me again.
Okay. My character commands her character to take her clothes off and stick her thumb in her butt.
If you loved me, you wouldn't ask me to do that.
Sorry, Ruby.
I want to see those dice. Seems like every time I play with you, you make me go through some sort of anal violation.
I'm the dungeon master. Whatever is behind the screen is secret. I have to see it. To gaze upon this is to die.
Fine, fine, fine. I take all my clothes off and put my thumb up my ass.
If you do it in real life, you get extra experience.
Fuck you.
And then, my character tells your character to jump up and down and say, I am inferior to humans. There's an echo in here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so my character jumps up and down and yells, slime butt, 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 slime butt.
Alright, after all that noise, all of a sudden, the luminance dims.
I take out my lantern.
Dude, I think we attracted monsters.
I take my sword out.
I'm inferior to humans. I'm inferior to
My
humans.
character tells her to shut up.
Your character shuts up, but, and I don't mean buttocks, an arrow shoots out of the darkness and through your penis. Pierces the bladder and you bleed profusely and profoundly. If you are not helped soon, you will bleed out and die.
Oh, fuck you!
I can't argue with the dice. I could try. No, it's not true. Reality isn't what I think it is.
Okay, Jen, what kind of spells do you have?
I can't tell you.
Okay, well, my character walks towards the spot where I think the arrow came from.
All right. There is a little goblin! He's broken the string on his bow and he's crying.
I cast an invisibility spell on myself.
What? Why wouldn't you do something to help Ruby or me, huh?
As you near the defenseless goblin, he throws down his bow, gets on his knees, and makes a begging gesture.
Oh, fuck him. I hack his head off. You can't trust goblins.
Racist.
As you raise your sword, the goblin who somehow snuck behind you, taking advantage of how you were distracted by looking at the defenseless goblin, strikes. But he missed you.
It was a setup and you fell for it.
I cast a sleep spell on that goblin.
The one who attacked her? Alright, good news. The sleep spell works. But sleep spells affect an area, not a person. So you get whammied by it, and you fall asleep. You fall to the ground, and your character had a lantern. So the lantern shatters, and the oil leaks out onto your skull, onto your head, and you catch fire. And nobody helped heal you, so you die. Ruby's character's dead.
Haha, Ruby, you're dead. So what about me?
Alright, moving along because she's probably just hanging out watching everything. Your character died from having been set on fire like that. And this goblin is just watching you roast and being delighted by everything.
Jen, what the fuck? Why don't you do something, huh?
I steal the other potion and run out of the cave.
You're successful, and as you look back, this goblin starts eating the freshly cooked. He's eating her. Not eating her out, he's just eating her. Well, maybe no, they don't care about your pleasure.
Hey, you remember a girl named Agnes from when we went to the grade school?
Nope, doesn't ring a bell.
Well, I ran into her at a supermarket. Did you ever know she had a crush on you back then?
No, I would have remembered something like that.
Not if she didn't tell you about it. Anyway, she's a dancer now. Pretty hot, too.
Are you going to date her?
No. She kept talking about you. She wants to hook up with you.
You told her what I look like these days, right?
Yeah, but she doesn't care. She wants to fulfill a wish from the old days. She doesn't care how ugly you are now.
Are you sure she's hot? I don't want to be the butt of some joke.
Well, here's the thing. She wants it to be kinky. You have to have a blindfold on.
Is that you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good, you're not fat.
Oh, your calf muscles.
Oh, I'm just checking to see if you have implants or not. I heard that you're a dancer and some dancers have fake boobs. Fake boobs are disgusting. enough room.
I don't know if you're into bondage, if that's what we're doing, but I don't like to be on the bottom. I'm a man. I have to be the aggressor. Feels a little like prostitution. Can I take my blindfold off? We'll do your fantasy after we do mine. I'll do mine first, and then we do yours later. No, I've got it. Oh, that's the reason for the blindfold.
What's wrong?
You're a spick.
Excuse me?
Well, I didn't mean that as an insult, just that I thought you were doing white.
We've already had you before.
How could you not fuck Agnes?
Don't even get me started on how wrong you were about that whole thing.
So, you won't give me that trouble bootleg to show your gratitude for the big favor I gave you?
It's not a bootleg, it's a CD that the band put out themselves.
So, can I have the record? You don't listen to the band as much as me.
I don't know why people call them records.
Okay, CD if you want to be picky.
No, what I mean is, in the days of vinyl, people called albums records, but that's the wrong name because you can't record onto it. So don't call it a record, call it a play.
I would sure love to play one of the songs I only have on a cassette. Wait a minute, why do they call them tapes? You can't tape anything with them. They're not sticky.
You're an idiot.
Hey, yo. You gonna vote for Unga Bunga?
Fuck no. The day this country gets a black president is the day I move out.
You're never gonna move out.
Well, if he wins, he should be called the chieftain of the United States, not the president.
Are you a racist, yo?
Look, you're young, unless you have plastic surgery, but I think you're young, and you probably had to take this pro-black propaganda in your classes. But you have to realize that the older generation has knowledge that your schools have omitted.
Oh, really? Like what?
Like tons of things. Like Martin Luther King, or Martin Luther Chieftain, I should say. Martin Luther Chieftain Jr. didn't write his own speech, a white guy did. He should have said, the guy who wrote this speech had a dream, not me. When you learn black history, you should learn all of it. You should read about their criminal activity. Every black hero that you learn about has been falsely represented. When black people destroy language, they're cultural vandals, not the cool urban poets you make them out to be.
I feel sorry for you.
Don't let the door hit your asshole on the way out.
Why do you argue with people about stupid shit? If you're not interested about something, just say no thanks.
I guess it's all Ruby's influence. Look, let me get back to my book.
Fancy meeting you here.
I wish you were here a couple of minutes ago. Some hipsters were walking around trying to get me to vote for a black president.
Yeah, it seems to me like the only people who vote are people who aren't very bright.
You know, at first I thought that the popularity of rap was pushed by the record labels because it's so cheap to record that garbage. Unlike bands that have actual musicians who have to mic up their instruments and things like that. But in movies, I'm seeing that they're sort of glorifying racially mixed couples and they're putting blacks in unrealistic roles.
Yeah, I noticed that you don't really see black people playing criminals or other unsavory characters anymore.
Yes, well, I think this all ties in with the election right now with a black candidate.
Movies are showing black people as gods instead of as people who ruin things.
Well, I'm not really interested in conspiracy theories. But the old Greeks, they used plays to influence public opinion.
Aha, I knew it!
Well, if you don't like something, you shouldn't just complain about it. You should find a solution or find a way to live with it.
I'm sorry I'm saying such negative things, but I have this friend who is steering my frustration at certain targets.
What are you frustrated about?
Well, I chose a career path that has nothing to do with my interests. I wish I could make a living on art, but all I see is pop culture destroying art.
I don't think that art was ever made for the simple people of the mainstream. So what do you do?
I did have a plan. I thought up 2 beverages that are unique and haven't been tried before. I want to make alcoholic root beer and alcoholic ginger ale.
Oh, I've never heard of that. I would try one if I did.
Actually, I'm just joking with you. Oh no.
Hey, what's up? Did Bill tell you that he's 50 years old, lives at home with his parents, has a small dick, no job, and girls break up with him after the 2nd date on average?
Yes, he did. And I'm fine with that. But I'm not fine with your intra-gender competition. Did he really think that I would believe all those ridiculous things about you? This is the most original date I've ever been on.
Well, if I took you to a movie, then the attention would be on the movie instead of on you.
Why did you take me to a friend's house instead of your own place?
He's at work, he doesn't mind if we're here. Besides, there's really nothing interesting about my house. I don't have fish.
So have you always wanted to be a writer?
I'm glad you asked. I'm writing a story called Edgar Allan Poltergeist. It's a ghost story.
I hope you're kidding.
It's pointless to be a writer these days. Language is dead. I wanted to be one, but now I know that it's not for me. Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein when she was 18 years old, and nowadays, I think that's the correct term nowadays, most 18-year-olds can't even read her story.
Don't you think you should shift your eyes towards other people? We may not be common, but literate people still exist. You're just not looking in the right places.
I hate the rap influence. I can't stop thinking about it. There's something to what my friend Ruby said. She said that whites build civilizations and minorities destroy them.
I think whites can share the blame of destroying civilizations.
Alright, that sounded drastic. What I really meant to say is, to quote Ruby, rap is to music as black people are to cities. Those people didn't create those things, they just made them ugly.
Don't you think you'd be happy if you learn how to tune those things out?
It's really hard when you have a friend like Ruby.
I don't have a friend like Ruby.
I didn't say you had a friend like Ruby. I did say you... Oh.
Yeah, I'm just trying to show you that if you point your finger to other people all the time, you don't see your own faults.
I always hate watching the news when people are interviewed and the interviewee says you instead of I.
Yeah, it sounds insincere.
Ask me how I feel about the state.
What do you think about the state?
Well, when you go out with a beautiful girl, you feel pressured to impress her, but she should be trying to impress you. I mean me.
See, you're learning.
Yes. Good woman can change a man. Now, although I think you're going to say nothing, what would you change about me?
You have a relatively free mind, so I wouldn't change much. Maybe you could shed some of your friend's influence. But other than that, you have a pretty good outlook.
Well, outlooks can be deceiving.
Well, I cringe when I hear people praise rap and look down on metal. But would you really want the whole world to listen to our music? Would you want average Joes to walk around in King Diamond t-shirts?
I see your point.
We should be happy that it's hard for people to understand the things we love. It makes it easier for artistic souls to find each other.
Did you say souls? Do you believe in an afterlife?
I learned too much mundane knowledge to really believe in it. Do you know that we're made up of atoms?
And Eves.
And they're constantly gaining and losing electrons.
Like actresses gain and lose weight.
Stupid. Anyway, they're always animate. Chemistry is astounding. No, sometimes the difference between two things is just one electron. One tiny particle can make a huge difference.
See, size does matter. Thank you very much.
Where I'm going with this is that atoms are constantly animated. Chemical bonds are constantly formed and broken. You feel like one person, but you're really just a huge number of cells. And your consciousness is just an illusion. In that way, when you die, you don't really die. The atoms becomes other things. It could be other things with consciousness, but probably not.
If you put it that way, that's the best reason to make the world a better place. If my particles reform in the future into another creature or creatures, I wouldn't want those particles to feel torture, whether it's torture by a serial killer or torture by a rat.
In that sense, it might be worth dying for a cause. But still, I wouldn't want to be a martyr today. And, you know, have my present consciousness tortured in hope of having my atoms live a better life in the future with a consciousness that is not I.
What do you call a person who has sex with martyrs?
I don't know.
A martyr fucker. You know, it seems that we have something great here, and I know I might seem romantic. Well, it's not the first time I've been called that, but I would say that you and I were destined. Don't you feel that?
Yeah. So anyway, talking about an afterlife. What would be the reason to retain your consciousness?
What would be the reason for me talking with my mouth full, or for me keeping my memories of my earthly life in the after? So we have a Socratic relationship. Platonic relationship.
No, I'm not a whore.
No, platonic means that we're just friends.
No, it means that we're fuck friends. Platonic means that it's based on Plato, the philosopher. And Plato believed that if someone wanted to have sex with you, male or female, you should let the person do so.
It's a sign of the times. If Unga Bunga is elected president, then he's going to want to impose mandatory Spanish in all of the schools. He is so stupid! He used the example of Europeans knowing more than one language.
That's illogical. Illegal aliens aren't going to want to learn English or any other language. They can barely even speak Spanish. So the only people in this country who are going to speak more than one language are white people.
Can we please just start the game? I don't care about politics.
As usual in America, if you don't want to learn what you need to learn, then the laws will dumb it down for you. You'd rather drink tequila and rape white women than learn English? Well then, that's okay. We'll change the country in a way that you'll never need to learn English. If I ever have kids, I will not allow them to learn Spanish. I don't care if they lock me up.
If only they could lock your jaw. You crazy.
Why are you talking like a nigger?
Because it bothers you. And you smell like mierda.
Stop using that foul language.
See.
Stop using that foul language!
But I wasn't swearing.
Yes, but you were using Spanish, which is a foul language. It should be outlawed, along with nigger talk.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
How can a person with an IQ over 75 like rap? More importantly, how can a person who claims to like classical poetry also claim to like the retarded lyrics of rap? That's like saying, I would like a hot dog with my filet mignon. Oh, woe is me.
You mean, woe is I.
Now you're just fucking with me. That's from Shakespeare, stupid.
Okay, anything that follows the verb to be is in the nominative form. That means you should say, it is I, not it's me. Like when someone's knocking at the door, you should say, it is I.
So how come all of a sudden you forgot the verb to be when you said, "You crazy"? You have to understand that talking like a nigger isn't actually like some musical slang, like when metalheads say, "That's brutal." Talking like a nigger is completely different. A jazz nigger and a rap nigger are both the same. They're both retarded!
It's called Black English, and psychologists have shown that it follows its own grammar.
You and your egalitarian propaganda cannot change reality, no matter how hard you try to sugarcoat it. Niggers, for some reason, are completely incapable of following even the most simple rules of grammar. A 4-year-old white child has more sophisticated language skills.
Can we use our language skills to play the game? I really want to know half of my character.
I predicted that there might be some sort of pre-game argument, so I wrote a synopsis for you, Jen. You could read this while they release their pent-up energy.
I was watching television the other night, and a black comedian came on. I like comedy, so I didn't change the channel. But I cannot believe what I heard him say. He said, "He go he brother house." And later on, a newscaster used the term baby daddy. Why can't they just know that you need to use an apostrophe S when implying ownership? God, it's like it might remind them of when they were owned as slaves.
Why are you so hung up on language anyway? I mean, none of us even talks correctly.
You mean speaks correctly?
Whatever.
When you're on TV, you should follow the rules of language. I used to worry about kids seeing niggers talk on TV, but then I realized when I was little and I was watching TV and with niggers on it, I never wanted to imitate something so stupid. Nowadays, adult white people are imitating nigger talk. I can't blame them. Stupid people can't fight the instinct to conform. I bet you $1 million that if Hollywood decided that retardism should be the cool new trend, everyone would walk around saying "durr" constantly. All they have to do is make a video of retards acting confidently. The band could be called System of a Down Syndrome.
Okay, I wasn't manipulated by the media. That is not why I like rap.
You can fool yourself, sweetie, but you can't fool me. If you had never heard of rap and I played you any of those songs, you would laugh at how bad it is. But you are indoctrinated by seeing rap exalted on movies and TV. You, like everybody else, has been fooled by the confidence of niggers. You made the mistake of equating confidence with intelligence. Do you want to know how to make a nigger's confident facade shatter? Ask it to solve a math problem.
I don't know why you are so hung up on intelligence. You wouldn't even be accepted in the company of intelligent people. No offense to any of us.
You are right, he is the best dungeon master ever.
I don't need to hang around with a genius, but I do not want to hang around with an idiot or a brainwashed person. If a retarded child were in this room and talked to you, you would pretty much dismiss everything he or she said. Why can't you do the same with niggers? They have the same IQ.
Low IQ scores in blacks are due to the test being written in uptight white language.
You fell into my trap. That argument has been used by egalitarians for years. But did you know that when scientists changed the test to nigger talk, niggers actually scored lower? We cannot let them literally rape our culture.
Figuratively.
What do you mean?
When you mean to say something that you're not exaggerating, then you can say literally. You can't literally rape a culture.
But you can rape people in a culture. Let's order pizza pie.
No, I can't. I'm lactose intolerant.
I'm nigger intolerant.
Oh, Ruby, that is so witty.
Nigger talk is bad for society. They talk like that either because they're stupid or because they hate us.
Okay, or maybe proper language just isn't that important to them. Maybe they care about other stuff, huh? Ever think of that? Huh?
Actually, you do have a point there. They're jungle dwellers. That means that they were only able to communicate simple things like danger, like when a gorilla is close by. Their brains aren't able to make moving poetry or to paint images that are indistinguishable from a photograph. They're worse than animals. Even gorillas can be taught sign language.
Actually, that experiment was false. It was totally bogus. The gorillas were just responding to unconscious cues from the trainers. Gorillas are totally unable to even form a sentence.
Like niggers.
I was about to say that animals don't have a language. They can communicate, but they have a totally different cognition than you and I. For example, you could show me a model of a refrigerator, and then you could show me a scaled-down model of a banana. You and I would know that the banana could go in the refrigerator, but a gorilla has never been able to think like that.
If gorillas lived in America, politicians would say gorilla schools need more money, instead of realizing that you cannot teach animals human lessons.
That's not where I'm going with this. Animals, no matter how smart they are, don't have a language. They have the ability to communicate. They have a sound that might mean predator, but they don't have a sound that means not a predator. That's because they don't have the ability to form a vocabulary.
Like niggers.
No, would you shut up for a second? Blacks, no matter how much you try to convince me our animals, are not. Blacks have the ability to speak a language. No animal has that trait.
Why do you keep sticking up for niggers, making explanations for why they can't adapt, instead of solving the problem? It's people like you who are contributing to the delinquency of a minority.
Alright, let's start the game. Remember that this is still a probation period. So I had written things that normally I would leave to your free will. But today, we're just speeding everything up. Lucy, Ruby, you are sisters. Not black females, because you know how black males call each other brothers. You're sisters, related. And, you're alive, but they don't know you, so let me think about this.
Bill, where's our figures?
I'll put them out when the adventure starts. The only reason why I have figures on the table is if you perform actions, I can determine the probabilities better. You know, if I know that you're this close together, I know that if someone throws a baseball, it might hit one of you, you know, things like that. But I have your positions in my head and you're not in any danger, so let's not worry about the figures, let's worry about role-playing.
Sounds like lazy dungeon mastering if you ask me.
You see what happens when you listen to rap? You have the attention span of a nigger. Bill has said 1,000 times that this is a practice game. He has suspended a lot of rules.
Thank you, Ruby. Now, to make a long penis short, your two characters have entered a city.
Oh, if I can't use rap slang, then you shouldn't use slang either.
Penis isn't slang, my dear. I know real words may seem alien to you.
Tell them about my character.
Okay, lots of people in the city have gathered around the stage. There's a puppet show going on. Jen, your character is sitting in a seat of honor. And in the puppet show, there's a puppet that looks a lot like her. And there's another puppet that's a lizard man puppet. And then there's a very ugly girl holding a lantern puppet.
Okay, this is just unbelievable.
Well, you better believe it because it's true, not fiction.
When I told the townspeople what happened in the cave, they made a puppet show about how I defeated the goblins that have been killing some of the nighttime travelers.
Well, I have seen enough. I don't want to join your stupid game anyways. Fuck you. And you can go stick your thumb back up your ass. And you are the worst dungeon master I have ever worked under. And your hat is really fucking stupid.
My boyfriend is about to be the happiest man on earth. I'm sorry, but I really can't talk too long.
Hopefully Bill will be back by the time you have to go.
He sounds a bit absent-minded. If he were my boyfriend, he wouldn't need to go down to the liquor store to buy me anything. He would know how to get me into the mood without alcohol. I don't know, if he blows an opportunity now, think of how many other wrong decisions he could make in the future.
He's not absent-minded. He just didn't know that I drink wine. He assumed I like beer. And I told him not to go to the store, but he wouldn't listen to me.
Well, that's a good sign. At least he's trying to do one thing that he knows will please you. When I get off the phone, you should snoop around his apartment.
It's not his apartment, but I wouldn't do that anyway. Bad beginnings make for bad endings.
An ant worked his ass off all summer while the grasshopper was having fun and playing a fiddle. In the winter, the ant had a nice warm home and plenty of food, but the grasshopper didn't have anything. He should have worked on a retirement plan. Your date doesn't sound like an ant.
But I don't want the ant. I want the grasshopper. The ant is a creature of duty. He didn't feel any joy. He didn't give any joy to any other animal. And the grasshopper, he was playing music, which means he was working, because you have to work hard to play good music. Anyway, the grasshopper died in the winter, but his short life was worth so much more than all the years the ant lived.
Fine, I guess I got the moral of the story all wrong then. Story is stupid anyway. Ants don't live alone. Look, I'd love to talk more, but I should get going. When are you expecting your grasshopper?
He was supposed to be here an hour ago.
Ich komm gleich, Schatz, 3 Sekunden.
So how long have you been growing your hair?
I was born like this.
Really?
Yes.
Must be pretty tough finding work.
I'm actually waiting for a call back from a pharmaceutical company. It sounds like farmland, but it's actually science. I'm in IT, short for IT.
Oh, how long ago was that interview?
I can't remember how many months ago that was.
And they didn't just hire you on the spot?
Oh, that's how it is in that career.
The wheels of the corporate environment are slow. Corporate wheels are slow. You can't speed them up. I shouldn't have done that, because if the wheels go in opposite directions, you just stand still. And that's what's happening to me!
Well, that doesn't sound like a stable career. Well, anyway, I'll leave you two alone, and they'll talk more at the restaurant.
Please try to change the subject when Dad talks about work. He thinks that work defines a person, but he'll relax when he finds out your other qualities.
Oh, you're just saying that to make me feel you.
Excuse me. I'm just curious. I don't see a car outside in the driveway or out front. How did you get here?
Oh, Dad, the important thing is that he's here.
Well, is your car okay?
Yeah, it's just got some transmission problems. To be honest.
Oh, really? Well, Melissa told me you totaled your car.
Yes, the transmission slipped, and that's probably what caused the accident.
Dad, can Bill and I be alone for a while before you interrogate him?
Okay, but we're going to leave soon.
Why did you lie about the accident? I wanted to show my dad your goofy side. You should just relax. Everybody loves the clown.
And clowns love furniture. Ooh, I love your lamp. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Headlamp, yes. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do all the work. You just open your light bulb mouth.
So you couldn't stop being an asshole just for a couple of hours?
Maybe it has something to do with blood sugar. I'm going to inject some insulin and sleep it all off.
Rise
er en turnébuss. Det her er et rockeband som er på veien. Du vil aldri komme dit hvis du holder på med den tullemusikken du kjører. Så gi faen i det hva som holder på med, din langtjaka liktjuv.
Kun se muuntajaan vitun kusille.
Tää on tämmönen osio, jossa kaikki puhuu aivan paskaa. Myös kaikki muutkin bändit.
Seppo Hovi soitti aikoinaan flyygelillä munalla pienoa.
Vesi hiisi hississä silloin kun satoi.
I'm okay now. You don't have to take me to the hospital. I don't have insurance anyway.
It's okay. Just make up a social security number. All the illegal aliens do it.
He's so romantic. He thought he was dying and he wanted his last words to be to me.
That doesn't really change my impression of him, but I mean, if you want to throw your life away, be my guest.
Why would I be throwing my life away?
Aside from his obvious flaws, he's a diabetic. That means that he's not going to live too long, and even if he does, he's gonna go blind or get his legs amputated or something like that.
Well, you just have to make the best out of the time we have left.
Open your eyes. Until this morning, you didn't even know he was a diabetic. He's a liar.
No, he's not.
Don't come crying to me when you find out he's been cheating on you.
Hold on. I got something strange in the mail. It's a photocopy of a letter from a collection agency. Someone called Layla rented a gay porn called Extreme Ass Rape 3.
What does that have to do with you?
Bill's ex-girlfriend sent this. I'm sorry, but I can't see you anymore.
You're doing exactly what my ex-girlfriend wants. She's trying to sabotage my happiness. She's stalking me. How do you think she found out where you live?
Well, the letter from the collection agency looks pretty real to me. She's really good at sabotaging, I'd say.
She didn't forge it. That's actually real. See, back in the days of VHS, she had a membership to a video rental company, and I didn't have any money, so I asked if I could use her membership card to rent some movies.
So you rented gay porn. Why didn't you tell me you were bisexual?
I'm not gay. Listen. It may be wrong for me to have rented a porn movie instead of a good movie, but when I went to the porn section, there was this cover that I couldn't refuse. But some joker had replaced the movie that was supposed to be inside there with something that was really gay. Homosexual, you might say.
So if you hate gay porn, why did you keep it?
I didn't like it, if that's what you're trying to say. When I realized that there was nothing but dick on the screen, I tried to eject it like a human being, but it was stuck. It must have had a bunch of stickers or something, and I couldn't bring that to a repair shop.
Because you had no money?
No, because the repairman would think I'm a fag.
So what are you saying? It's still in the VCR?
Probably. I was so ashamed I had to take the VCR and the tape that was inside to a city far, far away, and I just threw it in some stranger's garbage can.
Look, my dad really can't stand you, and to be honest, I have my own doubts. Like, you didn't tell me you're diabetic. You haven't shown me where you live. You have all these secrets for no good reason.
Well, there's no evil reason.
Yeah, Melissa dumped you, huh? Well, we've been in touch. Anyway, I've got news that'll cheer you up. Some douche is throwing a costume party.
A faggy Batman? No, I'm more creative than that. I'm Baseball Batman.
A comedian.
Yes, and what do you do?
I'm a truck driver.
Really?
Yeah, I haul ass. Get the thing out of my face.
You do?
Yeah, that's right, I do. I haul ass, man.
Ah, you look like an asshole.
You got a problem?
Maybe. You got a solution? Be careful what you say, because I got a bat.
Well, that's actually kind of nice. Can I see that?
Sure.
Du dummes, blödes, verficktes Arschloch. Wenn ich deine dumme Fresse schon sehe, könnte ich kotzen, du Vollidiot.
I think you're the first person that passed out. Are you gonna drink more or are you done?
Oh, I definitely need a drink.
Ew! You have long hair.
Is that a problem?
No! I like the metal.
It's not the metal, it's just metal.
Metal! Can I take a picture with you?
Sure. I don't want to take my clothes off, though. Maybe another time. What are you doing with your hand? Do you have palsy or something?
It's a gang sign.
The only signs that a white man or white girl should do with a hand are the metal sign or the fuck you sign. I'm not going to do that to you.
Oh, yeah, you're right. White people shouldn't steal from their culture. We've done enough to them.
I haven't smoked in a long time. Why did it have a minty taste? Is that popular these days?
No, that's angel dust.
Do not ask the reasons for cruelty. You gave life, then gave sorrow.
Did I?
I have met your creatures. They broke my heart with every word.
It gives me no satisfaction to see you drink the poison that has afflicted me.
I have broken all of your riddles. Can you not speak plainly in this final moment?
Final moment it shall soon be. The finality is mine, not yours.
I did not come to fight you.
You came because I willed it. It is the last of my power, and soon you shall see the last of me. You are not she who stands before me. You are not even flesh. You are in my dream. Real to you only for a short time more.
But I have memories. I was a child. I have known many years and can recall any moment.
You will soon become what you really are, when my power over you fades away.
I knew the risk of seeing you. Your magic is foul.
Hear me. You have a circle of friends. You and they are spirits. You become flesh and die. You incarnate again and die. The circle repeats over and over. What is the point of this? To grow?
Are you of my circle?
I am, but not for much longer. See me. Know ye not me? Not to know me argues yourself unknown.
If thou beest he. Oh, how fallen. How changed from him. Joined with me once, now misery hath joined in equal ruin.
Hell was not so dark a labyrinth to hide this face.
You were Bill. I was Melissa in our most recent incarnations. You and I shall incarnate again.
The fuck? It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You're just getting home?
Something's wrong with my phone. I couldn't call anyone for a ride.
Well, jerk off, I got the phone company to shut it off because I'm not turning it on until you give me the money you owe me for the past few months you've been using it.
How am I supposed to pay you if I don't have a job?
Well, it's a good thing you left the house number when you interviewed for that job because they called and you start on Monday.
I start on Monday?
Yep. You just got to pass a drug test.